Hey, it's Jordan with TYT and TYT Politics. I am here with the sun beaming on me, the American frontier, and the legendary Josh Fox. Obviously, film director, Gasland, your new film, I always forget the full title.
That's all right, a lot of people do. It's called How to Let Go of the World and Love All the Things Climate Can't Change. So you can think of it as all the things climate can't change.
So you and I have spoken a bunch of times this year, and this was your first time at Standing Rock, right?
Yeah, it's like my first 12 hours. I got here really late last night, and I'm just overwhelmed by all the sights and sounds, all the people who are here. Immediately just being embraced by so many wonderful people who are ready to talk, ready to collaborate, ready to move a peaceful movement forward against fossil fuels. It's really, really stunning.
So we're on a bridge here. There's burnt cars. We were just talking like this looks like Iraq and the militarized police. Obviously, we're going to get into the environmental, but when you look here at the force that's being used against peaceful demonstrators, what's your kind of initial thoughts less than a day here?
Look, there's human rights violations going on here. There's civil rights violations going on here. There are crimes against humanity that are being supported here. This pipeline is connected to the Bakken oil shale, which is a fracking field in North Dakota, not on the other side of the state, right? It is one of the most disastrous places I've ever been in my life. I've done a couple weeks reporting in the Bakken oil shale. There are flare pits with huge fires every 500 feet.
That's burning all the time like that.
There's water contamination. There's methane and oil and gas, methane leaking into the atmosphere, oil and gas spills going all into the watersheds, onto the ground. It is a disaster area. In my opinion, the Bakken Shale is a crime against humanity. It is the perpetuation of a fuel that we can't use anymore, fracked oil. We know that we're out of time to stop developing new fields of oil and gas. We have to start developing new fields of solar and wind. North Dakota has one of the richest wind resources in all of America. In fact, just 3 states, North Dakota, Kansas, and Texas, could power, with the wind alone, everything in the United States. All of our cars, all of our homes, heating, electricity use, everything, just wind power in just those 3 states. So to be, endangering a watershed here, to be beating people, pepper spraying people, macing. I've heard accounts of people being ripped out of prayer ceremonies, ripped out of sweat lodges, teepees opened up with AR-15s, and the kinds of pictures that a lot of us have seen because we've seen them online. North Dakota has become a police state that is enforcing an oil-igarchy, oil and gas rule. And I think that we need our progressive leaders to stand up. I'm asking, where is Hillary Clinton? Where is Barack Obama? Where is Loretta Lynch? Where is our government? We've had the United Nations come in. We've had Amnesty International come in. It's inexcusable to see on American soil a racist policy being enforced, police brutality, human rights violations, and to have silence from our leaders on the left is unconscionable right now.
And for the viewers, right here is Cannonball River. There's kind of offshoots of Cannonball River throughout the pipeline trek. And behind that big hill over there is the main water source, which is the lake, which is the land that they're fighting very fervently to protect. So that area behind the hill, they don't have permits for. But they've been doing quite a lot in this area without permits anyway. What I wanted to get to on the environmental end, a lot of people have kind of bought hook, line, and sinker because the New York Times reports it as such and CNN reports it as such, that this is, for domestic oil use. Right. But The Intercept did some great stuff. There's a lot of people have done great stuff. A lot of this pipeline is for foreign crude oil going out.
I mean, there's eminent domain for private gain going on all over this country. There are people fighting pipelines all across this country. The bottom line is not only are they mostly for private gain, and a lot of them are for export. We're seeing a lot of Brocken crude going to export facilities. We're seeing the whole reason why we needed that Keystone XL pipeline was to bring crude from the tar sands in Canada to refineries in Texas so they could ship it overseas. We're seeing, I was just actually on tour in the UK, United Kingdom, in Scotland. They were receiving boats full of liquefied natural gas that was being fracked in Pennsylvania, and they're using eminent domain laws. Those are supposed to be for public utilities. Those are for public good, right? Not for private gain. So this is happening all across the nation. And to be completely clear about this, renewable energy can provide everything that we need on the planet as far as all the energy needs that we have. This type of thing, and when you see the police brutality that is enforcing the path of this pipeline, that is because the oil and gas industry is getting increasingly desperate, because people know we don't need oil and gas anymore. We have electric cars, we have wind turbines, we have solar panels, we have geothermal. We can do all of these things another way. So the thing that we can't do without is democracy. And, you know, we have democracy on our side. We have the people on our side. 75% of Democrats oppose fracking. This is fracked oil. The majority of Americans oppose fracking. Again, fracked oil. We're talking about the majority of Americans want renewable energy, 70, 80%. So the only way they can do this is they have to shove it down people's throats, and they're endangering their water supply. And you'll note, right, that this pipeline was supposed to go through Bismarck. It was supposed to go through the white people's area. And they said, no, we don't want it. Guess why? Nobody wants a pipeline. Nobody wants a pipeline in their backyard because these are the toxic fuels of the past. We want the clean energy of the future. So they said, okay, well, we'll move it. Guess where they moved it, right? To the Native American reservation.
That took about 5 minutes.
It took about 5 minutes to get those approvals. And now we're seeing a human rights crisis and a civil rights crisis unfold in front of us because the oil companies refuse to pay attention to democracy, to citizens, to history, to the people that they pollute. They don't care about us. They don't, and the governments that protect them don't care about us. I mean, we can use rational arguments with people all day long. Say, obviously, this creates climate change. Obviously, this is a very, very dangerous situation when you have a pipeline near a water supply. Pipelines break. They all break. They all break eventually. And the pipeline industry currently, and the fracking industry, exists in a permanent state of criminal negligence. We had, in 2012 alone, 16 million gallons of oil, gas, and wastewater and fracking fluids leak onshore in the United States of America. That's more than the Exxon Valdez onshore just in 2012 alone. The numbers for 2016 are near that, right? There is no agency that tracks just spills. We had to have independent reporters go out and find out that information. Mike Sorahan from E&E News did a groundbreaking report, said, look, we're having an Exxon Valdez onshore in the United States every year. So these people are right. These pipelines leak. Their welds are bad, especially when they're rushing through right now, which is what they're trying to do, working all night long. We see this in the fracking fields. It's run and gun, wildcatting, and you see a lot of contamination, a lot of deliberate spilling of fluids and wastewater. This is something I've been tracking for 8 years. These guys know the threat is real. And when I started this, it was because I was in the Delaware River Basin in the watershed for New York City, Philadelphia, and southern New Jersey, the watershed for 16 million people.
Yeah, I used to kayak as a kid there.
There you go. This is the watershed for 17 million people. So this is a very parallel fight to a fight that we won in New York. Why did we win? Because we were organized. Why did we win? Because people in New York City said, hey, you can't frack up in the upper Delaware. That's our water supply. So we need people all downriver to get involved here.
Save our water!
And understand. This is their water, too. This is the water that connects to the Mississippi River. This is our United States of America. All of these people have equal human rights, and we have to phase out this pipeline. That's the greatest irony of this. We don't need this pipeline. We don't need this pipeline at all. This pipeline exists for those people to make a lot of money on the backs of people who are being crushed.